Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel and July 24th daily, which of course, as you can see, is tents and trees. Let's get our free coins and let's see what we've got going on here today. So let's get into this. What are we going to... let's do this one. It's got some variation here. We could do some quick guys here to get going. Let's get these three done real quick. If I can click everything properly, that's going to finish that one and push you in and you and you and you. Good, good. Everything looks like it's set properly. That's always a bonus. Let's get these guys in here. One of those two and this guy, which forces this to happen. Let's get rid of all of this stuff. Now these two have to just be in. This one has to be in. Gets rid of those and pushes you in. Now we can do this guy and get everything else going. Good, good. Alrighty, let's see, where's the best way to go here? Because you just have to go there. That finishes the one. It's going to do a little bit of work down here, but not enough just yet. Now we can put this one in though, and now we can finish the three, and then finish this one. We're just going to set off these guys. Get you done, and you two have to be in, and then you and you. Good, good, good. On to the next one. Let's see. Two of these guys, you and you, are done. Now this guy has to be in, and one of these two has to be in, so that's out, which means this is the single for the one there. That forces you, you, and you. This one is done. The two is done. This one has to be in, this one has to be in, this one has to be. Keep on keeping on. All right, this corner one means all these are done. One of these threes has got to come into play, right? Yeah, this one is in, one of these and one of these, so that's out. Let's get rid of these guys, see what else pops up. That one is done because of that. The three is not quite there on this side, neither on this side. Let's see what else we can find. What about this three going here? We can get rid of these. Nope, not that one. We can get rid of that one. And actually, we can just say what these are. Well, not completely what they are, but we know two of these, only two of these can be in. So therefore, this one also has to be in. We know one of these has to be in, so that's out. And because we know only one of these two can be in, neither one of these two can use these. So this one has to go up, which forces a little bit of something to happen. Now, we don't quite know where this guy goes because he could take on either one of those two, though. Now, did that do anything? This 2 says you can't be in. Well, it never could have been, but it's a little something. Any of these other guys here that are looking promising? This 3 still is not quite useful. Let's look up and down on the 2s, because this guy can't... Okay, there we go. Because of this 2, can't put one here to force both those out, so that pushes you in. That makes a little bit of work done now, so that means this 2 here has to go there. This 2 is one of those two. This 2 now here has to be this guy, and then that 2 now finishes here. I'm just going to push you in and you and you. That's going to finish that off. Good. Now we've got to work on the final bits. This guy here has to be in, so you two as well. This guy has to be, you have to be, that pushes you and you. Good. Alrighty. Well, these are going pretty good. Of course, they are the easy ones, so I would expect them to do so. Let's think about this 3. This and this have to be out. And these are just given out, so let's get some of those done as we look at some of these other 3s. This 3 here is good, yeah. This one and this one have to be in. Therefore, all of these are out. One of these 2 is in, so these are out. This 2 now says these 2 are in, which is going to give us our final 3. And we also have these 1s now we can click on. And that's going to tell us what this 3 is. It's going to tell us what this 3 is. The 1 is done. All of these are done. These are the 2 for here. This 2 has to be here, here. And that will probably set this up in such a way, yep, these 3 are the last ones. That'll be the end of that pack, so now we can move on to maybe some more difficult ones. Not those guys. We don't really want to do another easy one like that. Those are pretty big. Do we want to see what these two are first? Let's do these two, because we have a couple of big ones and a couple of not so big ones. So we have a nice little grouping here of these guys. And these, of course, are the ones that have the lessened clues, so you can kind of focus a little bit more on which ones you want to jump into. This 3 is a good start, because we can say these are in. This one has to be in, this one does, which forces you. Now we know this one had to be in, this is out, this is in. Good. Now the 2 is done, so that forces both of these, finishes this guy, and pushes you here, pushes you there, and you there. Very good. Now we can jump into this guy. We know you are in. We know one of those two is in, but it doesn't really help us because we don't have a clue there. This is a corner, so you're out. Let's get rid of all of these guys. They will help us to see what we're looking at now. This 2 says you 2 can't be in. This 2 is now done. So we can get rid of all of those. That finishes this guy here at least. This 2 now has to pop in here. No, not you. You. Stop it now. Sugar. What are we doing? This 2 says this one is out. These 2 are out. Thank you. Jeez. I swear. These 2 here have to go like this. This 2 is now done. I don't know that we can necessarily say anything about those just yet. This guy here just has to be in. This 2 here, we can pop those out. That will now force a little bit of something here. This 2 has to go here. That should set everything off, and it does. Good, that was a nice quick one. Now let's get into this harder one. So let's start with the 7s. Those are usually the good ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, so everything has to be in on this end, so we can get rid of all of this. And we know that one of these 2 has to be in, so this is out. And of course, this one can't be in, so that's in. Now we can move up a layer and get rid of some of this stuff. This 1 is actually done. I just saw that. So let's see how that interacts here. Let's get rid of some of this stuff. Doesn't look like it does much. Let's look at these 5s on the edges as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, not you. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, there's a little bit to this, I think, because we can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because only one of these 2 could possibly be in. Problem is there isn't a set of 2 here where we can remove something off the other side of it. So this guy here will be out. So there's a huge swath here in the middle we can get rid of. So let's just do that for the moment. That's a corner piece. So that's out. These are all out. And this will hopefully clean this up a little bit where we can make some decisions. Now let's make sure we've got most of this. Oh, right here, I didn't even notice this one. This is just a given here. So we can get rid of all of that. This is a given here, so we can get rid of that stuff. Again, we don't have a clue here, so we're just working off of what we have on the givens. This corner piece says you're out. These guys don't look like they're complete. Let's look at this 4. Yeah, this one has everything we need at the moment, so we can get rid of all of this. It's going to push you in and you in. Now, one of these 2 is in, so you're out. That's going to give us the 2 here to finalize, and then we'll come right back and get this 4 in. Let's get rid of these guys. This is now a corner, so you're out. These guys still have multiple options, but here we can get into it. This, and this must all be in. And did we get anything going up and down? Yes, this 1 here is done, so that's going to get us into this area now. We can get these guys in. You have to go here, which means you, and you. Good. This is a corner, so that's out. This guy here, this one can't be in because we didn't remove options for multiples. This 2 now says we have 3 options, so these are both out. Still not quite working here. Do we have anything else going up and down? Yeah, the 3 says these can't be in, What about do we go back to this 5 in any way? We can actually, because this guy here says you are in. So if you're there, you have to be there, you have to be here, and you have to be here, which is going to set off this chain reaction. That's going to finish the 5, push this guy in for this 3. And let's see what else we can see. 2, 3, 4, 5. These guys are out, which is going to start something here. Well, sort of it did. Got one little thing in there, which is fine. Maybe this 5. It is down to 6 again. I mean, it's still at 6 essentially, so we don't quite know anything more there just yet. So, where do we have something that's an obvious here? Let's see. Oh wait, right here. Just didn't see him. That is in. So that finishes this 3. Corner piece done. 5, this 4 says this one is, nope, not you. This one is out. And at 4, we don't quite have enough information. At 3, we don't quite have enough information. This 3, we don't quite have enough information. We've removed all of these that are done, at least so far that I can see. This one we don't quite know yet. Okay, so let's try to figure out. Maybe there's a negative constraint somewhere, or something similar that we can start to, yeah, this one right here, well, I don't know if this helps us, but this guy can't be in because they've removed too many options, so that's out. Actually, it does, because it gives us this guy, and that should set off a little bit of something there. Okay, now does that remove options? It does. It removed enough options for the 4, we can put the 4 in, and that's going to hopefully get all of this stuff moving. That forces you and you. That's good. So we're at 4, and 4 is done. So now we can put you in. This has to be the last one to do the 5. This 4 is done. The 3 is done, which is going to set all this stuff off. You have to be in. You have to be in. One of these has to be left over. It's this 3. Good. Alrighty. So that one went pretty well. We'll see how the second one goes. We've got another 7, so let's look at that one real quick. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, they're all just good to go on the singles, and then we'll come back and look to see what that does to everything else. Get rid of all this stuff. And we know these are out because one of these 2 has to be in. Now let's see what's doing here. Anything, this one is out. Let's go to the next levels and remove the options. This is a corner, so you're out. This is a corner, so you're out. And all of these guys are just basics, so let's get rid of those. Again, we'll get some clarity maybe. Let's do this section here and look at this 5, see if there's anything here working. We have 6, so if we any place where we remove 2 options, so like this one here can't be in because 1, 2, 3, 4 will be left over. Little bit of something. Let's continue to trim each layer away here. I don't know if this 5 is doing anything for us just yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 6 possible options, so I guess that does actually work. Let's make sure that's right. One of these 2, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so we can't lose 2 of them. So this is out, which then forces this in, which forces both of these in, which forces this in. And if we peel away some of this other stuff, it might give us more information. This one here now has to be in, so you have to be, you have to be. Nope, you have to be. Now this is a corner, so you're out. Does this 3 do anything for us here? Well, we can say this one can't be in, and we can also say this one can't be in. That's a little something. Let's see, any of these other ones? This 4 actually is better. We can just put that in. That's going to give us a bunch of these. This one has to be in. This one does. This one does. That's a corner. All of these are given out. Now that 3 is done, so we can plop that in, and that pushes this one in. This becomes a corner, so you're out. The 5 is done, so that now pushes you back in. Now let's go back to either seeing if we cleared anything else on these guys, or go to these horizontals to see what type of work we can do there as we clear out some of this other stuff. What about this 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Okay, the 5 is good to go. We can just put all these in and then see how that affects everything else. Let's see. Try to, okay, we had more up here actually I didn't see. This guy has to go here, this guy has to go here, so this guy has to be in. Over down here, you go to you go to you. That's not helpful, but this guy here is standing alone, so he has to be in. This guy is here, but there's options there. This 3, we can't, oh, the 1 here is done. Let's put that in. That's going to be a big shot. Now, that's out, or in, which forces that out, which forces that in and out, etc., etc. Now this 3 is good to go, so all of these are out. We said that's that, that's that, and that's that, so this one is out. Good. Any of these verticals now come into play? 1, 2, 3, 4, not quite. This is a corner piece though, so you're out, and you have to just be in, because you're sitting there all alone. And this guy here is all alone, so it forces these 2 in. That will finish the 7 there finally. And the 4 is still not entirely useful. This 4, not quite. So let's see what else we got in here. This one actually can't be in because it removed too many options on these guys. Oh, this guy's sitting alone. So these must be in. Is that correct? For some reason it looked like there was... Why was... Okay, that one couldn't be... The 1 forced that one not to be. These forced those. Okay, that is correct. I just wanted to make sure. Sometimes I'll see something there. It looks like it's a little bit funky, so... All right, that forces this, this, and this to occur, which forces this and this to occur, which gets this guy going, and then these 2 are both in. Yep, those all look like they're correct. The 2 is done, the 4 is done. Now that that's done, we can pop these guys in and put you down. The 3 now has to be done, which forces you in. And this 4 needs 1 more to do. That finishes this 4, which is going to force these 2, and then you have to be in to finalize. Alrighty. Excuse me. Alright, that pack was done. We're in pretty good time. We can get into another... Well, let's do the first one of these, the no-mo. Now, then, of course, the no-mo is where you can't remove options. You just have to focus on. So let's do this one and see how we do, and then maybe we'll do another one. The 6x6 is about in decent range where I can figure them out without too much trouble. Once they start getting bigger than that, it's kind of a crapshoot for me. This 2 here means both of these are in, so you have to go here, you have to go here. Now, I think that's going to inform what this 2 is, because no longer can any of these 3 be in, so now these are the only 2 possibilities, so you go here, you go here. This guy, well, it could be, no, it can't be this one. Okay, this 1 here. This guy can't be in, so you have to be in because none of these other ones can be. And that's going to fill you up. Now we're going to have, I think, these 2 crossing periods. Yeah, so you have to go here and you have to go here. Good. We got through that one quick. Let's try the 8x8 and see if we have any chance of doing that one. We've got a 4, that's good. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, we can put all of those in. And we can start to maybe designate which ones are which. Now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 tents. We have 5 trees. So we only have 1 more of these 2 trees. So one of these 2 will be in. I don't know if that works too much on this guy. So let's go to this 3 instead. Because there are only 3 positions we could put trees or tents in. So this guy has to go here, you go here, and you go here. Now, does that help us anymore? Because again, we know one of these 2 is in. We got to try to rule out some of the other. So I guess we know actually that one of these 2 and one of these 2 is in. Does that help us any further? We also know one of these 2 has to be in for this 2. This 2. Oh no, I thought we had something there. We don't. Well, we actually do, yeah, because we know this grouping can't be in. So if we're thinking about this column, we have 1 possibility here. Oh no, there is more than I thought. Okay. So we'll move on from that for a second. This 3, we know one of these 2 will be in, and we know one of these 2 will be in. Don't know that that's super helpful yet. This 0 removes all of these options, but I think we've already done that. What about this 3? Yeah, that'll work. because we already have one, so we know one of these two will be in and this one, so this one just has to be in. Now that puts one of the twos in at least. Does that now reduce this two? Because it removes this one, this one, this one, and this one are all out, plus this one, so this one has to be in. Yes, that does that. Now the one is completely done. This two is now going to be done as well. This guy going up and down, because we know this is out, this is out, this is out, and this is out. So this is the only spot left over. So that finishes you. We said one of these two has to be in for the final there. One of these two is in. We said that. So I think this one just has to be in now, because we've removed this guy as an option. So the only a couple places are one of these two and this guy. So this guy has to be in. He's going to take on you, which means you take on you and you take on you. Now the only place left, because this guy is now out of the equation, is this one for the 3. Okay. Now these are done. What about this 3? It's still one of these two, isn't it? But then this one, that'll work for us. Because if we know one of these two is in, this guy can't be in. Because he'll remove both of those options and both of these would have to be in. So if this guy can't be in, we know this guy can't be in, we know these two can't be in, you are in. So that connects there. That finishes that one. Now we said one of these two had to be in, now this guy's been removed, so you're in and you're in. Good, we did it. Actually fairly well too. So good, we got through those really well. That was rough. I don't think we're going to go into any of the other ones. We're at 22 minutes, so we're doing pretty good. I could go back and do a couple classic packs to get those going, but I don't think I will today. I think we'll leave this one here since yesterday's was, or not yesterday's, but the last Tents and Trees we did was quite long. Although we actually got a really good review response from you guys, which I'm very happy about. Much higher than normal for at least this type of format. So hopefully we get the same result in this one. If so, I know that you guys are enjoying Tents and Trees, and I'll maybe do some more work on those. But anyway, with that said, that's going to end today's daily Tents and Trees for July 24th. Hope you all enjoyed this one. And as always, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.